Well, is there something you have a particular interest in?
I was going to say let's talk about kitty cats. I know it's not really macho or anything, but I'm 44 years old and I'm big and muscular with a beard, and I really, really like cats.
Okay, so, all right, let's do that. We, if anyone's been following our little Twitter things, we are just about to get a baby Norwegian forest cat and a little Mancoon cat girl, but they're going to be ready. Each one of them is going to be ready in a different amount of times. By the time you have this, we might have a 6-month-old cat, for all we know.
You can follow Sharon on Twitter at twitter.com/Sharon Living with a capital S and a capital L.
Oh, thanks.
Sure.
Okay, so you've got the deck in front of you. I want you to scroll through the deck and find a picture in Word that best represents yourself today without a cat.
Today without a cat. Okay. Wow, that's really amazing. There's one that just pops out, and maybe a second one. Definitely a beggar.
A beggar?
Yeah, definitely me today without a cat as a beggar. I thought possibly about an orphan, but it doesn't really fit. And out of all the cards, it's the only one that really popped out.
Okay. So, before we talk about that, now I'd like you to find a card that best represents this little Norwegian forest cat that we're getting.
Okay. Okay, that's the monster, the happy little monster card. The cat is the monster.
The little cat would be a monster?
Yes, I'm allowed to pick whichever one I want, right?
Yep.
Even if my wife doesn't approve.
I was just surprised.
Okay.
And now we're going to have you pick how you would be different having that little cat in your life.
Okay.
Ready?
How I imagine I will be with the cat in my life.
Right. Okay, so which card did you pick for how you would be transformed?
I picked the Conqueror. Me with a cat in my life will be a conqueror. I'll explain that later.
Okay, very, very good. So let's review your 3 choices.
We're only making 3. I thought there were 4.
In this case, there are 3.
Okay. So there's the beggar. That's me with the...
without a cat.
Yeah. Then there's the monster.
That's the cat.
The cat is the monster. And there's the conqueror is me with the cat.
So give me 5 words to describe a beggar.
Okay. 5 words to describe a beggar are... desperate, lonely, sad, pathetic. This is really bad. Desperate, lonely, sad, pathetic, and scared.
Uh-huh. And what words might you use to describe that monster?
Powerful, mischievous, happy, misunderstood, and powerful, mischievous, happy, misunderstood, and takes good care of himself. It's a lot of words, but
that's fine.
Healthy, I guess, the word would be.
Takes good care of himself is fine.
You know why? Because he's got this big, healthy smile on the picture of the monster.
The monster?
He doesn't look like a scary monster. He's like, a happy monster from a kid's story or something like that.
Uh-huh. And you're going to be transformed to?
A conqueror.
And what are some words to describe a conqueror?
Fearless, driven, respected, powerful, and strong.
Excellent. So, taking a look at the little exercise we just did, tell me how the description of the beggar fits with how you feel in relationship to not having a cat at the moment.
Boy, desperate, lonely, pathetic, sad, and scared. I didn't realize until recently how very attached I was to the cats that we had, and how horribly lonely I felt. We had to give them up when we moved, and in some ways you get more attached to cat than you do to a kid because they're just always with you.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really, really sad. It was kind of like ripped away from us.
Uh-huh.
And he used to sleep on my chest. He used to sleep better when he would sleep on my chest. And he would do the stupidest things all around the house. And he was a really good cat. You know, he didn't crap where he wasn't supposed to, and he didn't, you know, scratch, and he just rolled over when you saw him. And you could take him and put him any place. Like, you could put him at the top of the closet, and he would just stay there. And I was, and you could come back 6 hours later, he'd be at the top of the closet. So I guess I'm critical of myself for feeling so lonely and sad and scared without the cat, and I didn't realize I was feeling desperate to get a cat.
Uh-huh.
I mean, over the last couple of months, my experience has been I just really, really want a cat.
Uh-huh.
And I've been begging you. That's why I picked the beggar. I've been begging you month after month. I mean, I've been taking Sharon to farm after farm. We live up in New Hampshire, and there's all kinds of farms in the country, and we've been going, you know, to farm after farm and looking at cats and trying to find the right breeder and making sure they're taken care of. And I've been begging, and I finally talked her into it. I call her Kitty Mama now. So yeah, I think that describes me as a beggar.
And the monster?
I think pathetic is a little mean. It's a little harsh, but I guess I have that harshness towards myself about that attachment I feel to the cats. The monster, I said, was powerful, mischievous, happy, misunderstood, and healthy. This is not a scary monster in this card, at least it's not to me. This is, it kind of reminds me of this poster that I had when I was in camp. This one-eyed big monster with a great big smile on his face, and he's actually giving everybody the finger, which was very
rebellious.
It was rebellious. It wasn't really as hostile as you'd think it was. It was more, you know, can I get away with this?
Uh-huh.
And I'm mostly a guy who follows the rules. I spend a little too much time being afraid of getting in trouble if I don't follow the rules. You know, I'm at a point in my business where I've got to get to, I reached a satisfactory level, but now I really want to get to make it big, you know, to really make it, there's no reason I shouldn't make it really, really big at this time.